Good morning. This is David with Interwest IT and the SMB IT Newscast for January 27th. This morning we're looking at the hardware and software tech verticals and how they apply to, in gross generalizations, how they're most appropriately applied in certain kinds of businesses. This is mainly personal equipment that we're talking about, and we're kind of answering the question, do you get married to one of these tech verticals or not? And so what we're really talking about are whether or not you're a Google follower, or a Microsoft follower, or an Apple follower. And in the grossest sense, like we were saying, these tend to apply most commonly, are most usable in certain kinds of business sectors. Not that they can't be applied otherwise, but Google, and the Android operating system operating on Nexus mobile appliances and the Google Chrome, Chromebook, web notebooks and things like that can be very powerful and very inexpensive. We find them most often used in business services and consulting spaces. Microsoft Windows with their tablet and the phone that goes along with them, because of the adjunct services that are available and the systems that are built for Microsoft, being the principal player at the enterprise level for bricks and mortar, for product sales and product fulfillment operations. Microsoft can be the go-to. Now, Apple iOS, in the iMac, iPad, iPhone arena, tends to be more popular in the creative photography, videography, and in the music business, especially where entertainment is concerned. And so, that being said, we'll look at Google real quick. The Google solution, the Google vertical of techs, hardware and software, I think are the lowest per capita costs that you can aim for. In exchange with that comes some difficulty in administration, but it's not that you can't overcome it. Massively, easily shareable storage, and a few other items here on the list. Project websites in particular are very easy and inexpensive to do with Google Sites. But you also have Hangouts and the ability to get phone, which we talked about last time, for free as an inbound number. All of these things are blended into a single identity at Google, and you can use them across your hardwares. Microsoft Windows and the tablet and the phone system, Windows integration with the Office platform and associated softwares, database, particularly point of sale and things like customer relationship or client relationship management, contact relationship management if you want, are very powerful. The cloud services that they have and the shared apps are very enabled for structured data. They tend to be quite a bit more expensive, but it can be a solid strategy for a business as an investment. These kinds of situations are normally capitalized expenses, whereas in Google, we ended up applying them mostly in EBITDA. And remember that EBITDA, EBITDA, is expenses before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Anyway, so the examples that we've seen recently are a public defender's office where they had literally thousands of cases that they were tracking over years where people had been in and out of the system, and they needed to find all of those and know what the history was. And then Old Town shopkeepers, selling knickknacks in the tourist center, where a point of sale, and wanting to look forward to an enabled sales floor, is very interesting. Now, Apple, iOS, iPad, Mac, and phone, these tend to be naturally more secure because they're just not as prevalent in the internet, out there in the NetSphere as Microsoft products are. Google is inherently pretty safe because it's browser based and you can be pretty secure inside the browser if you have good common practices with passwords. But they tend to be most expensive to capitalize. Their equipment is bought at a premium. Uh, the recurring costs can be lower because sometimes it seems like Mac appliances have a longer lifespan. And that's a real positive. People get used to something and they can use it for quite a bit longer, it seems like, in the Mac world. Although Windows 95 and Windows XP were great examples of Microsoft being successful in the longevity arena as well. Um, Mac is unique. It's it's a Unix-based environment, and the sophistication for administration is different than you would receive or you would anticipate in a Microsoft environment. And again, creative photo for video journalism is a great example of folks that thrive on Mac. So we have our tech verticals, Google, Microsoft, and Apple. They provide hardware and software that allows us to manage our web presence. But what about enterprise services? What are those? Like Amazon Web Services. And who is Salesforce.com? Is that a CRM solution I can use if, for instance, I'm a Google tech vertical and I don't have Microsoft CRM or some of those things? Where else am I going to go? And then the question of e-commerce. If you're selling online, we have previously talked about some of those options. We're going to look more closely at these next week. But that's it for this week. The three big tech verticals, Google, Microsoft, and Apple. Which end of the earth are you on? And should you or should you not cross over to use different appliances for different reasons? You can, but what you get is the ability to experience administering those things across those different kinds of platforms. God bless you, and thanks for watching.